there, I'm Beverly Sartain, and this is the Holistic Coach Legacy Podcast, where you get support in being an impactful and confident coach. In today's episode, I wanted to share an initial session with you. In fact, over the course of the next 6 weeks, you are going to hear an entire coaching container from front to finish. I've created a done-for-you program called the Holistic Wellbeing Routine Program. And this program shares the 4 levels of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. You'll be able to hear how someone actually applies those 4 levels to the topic of their choice. My intention is for you to have lots of great learnings. And if you are interested in a coach certification program, please check out the show notes where you can see the details to our program. We teach an initial session within that Holistic Coach Certification Program so that you can learn the process of coaching and you can be really impactful and effective. Thanks for being here. Welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for being here for your first session in the Holistic Wellbeing Routine Program. I'm so grateful to be here with you today. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Beverly. I'm doing very well, thank you. Just a lot of great things happening lately, so the energy is good.
Good. What are some of the great things happening?
I've just met with a really good friend of mine someone that I knew years ago, and then life happens, and we recently just got reconnected. And she became a coach through a different program that was very short-lived, which I appreciate and love your program even more. And it was just, I just felt the energy of brainstorming and just being the coach that you taught me to be. And it was fun because she's like, oh, I got to take notes. This is really good. How did you do that? Like, how do you know to do that? So it was awesome. It was great energy when I got done. Our 1 hour turned into 3 hours. So.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Yeah, I can feel your energy and feel just the excitement and the enthusiasm, which is great. So I appreciate you bringing that into our session today. So before we hop in, is there anything else that might need to be cleared or shared for you to be fully present for us?
No, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so this is an initial session, and what that really means is that the structure is a little bit different today than it will be some of our other days that we coach. So just wanted to let you know that. And we'll be using this first session just to get on the same page of exactly what you want to be creating over the next 6 weeks together.
Okay.
We'll also be talking a bit through how we want to structure the next 6 weeks. And I've brought a thought-provoking assessment for us to do together today. And then we'll also talk about how to make sure we are setting you up for success so that you get the best results that you can get. So how does all that sound for you?
That sounds wonderful. Let's get started.
Awesome. So would you be open to us starting with, your overarching goal of what you'd like to see from yourself in the next 6 weeks?
My goal is to have a stronger leadership role. I have this program, Roadmap to Success, and I envision it starting over because it relates to my podcast, and I see this theme coming forward for me. So the overall goal is to just have that stronger leadership to be able to market this and create whatever it needs to be. I have a few ideas, so but it's just I guess for me it's just having that stronger leadership to be able to keep moving forward.
Okay. And when you say stronger leadership, what does that mean to you exactly?
Um, just taking that leadership role, that step forward, to let go of like maybe some limiting beliefs that creep up that keep me. It's like I see myself as a leader in some ways, and then I have all these great ideas, and then there's this wall that comes forward sometimes. So I just want to be stronger in that leadership of just keep moving. You've got this great idea. Don't don't cut yourself so short and just keep moving. And whatever is supposed to be will be.
Okay, awesome. And if we could break down that wall and support you in continuing to move forward, what would be happening for you that you would be really thrilled about?
Oh my goodness. I can see a huge future not having to work a part-time job in addition to this. I really see this going in so many different directions. I have such a strong, powerful feeling about this roadmap to success because it really falls into starting over, whether it's midlife changes, life after divorce, or COVID. And I just feel so energized. And I think of all the people's lives that could be transformed just through this. Because if it was like hundreds of people in a room, I can envision this like it's going to tap into everyone differently because everybody's going through something. But it really, um, I don't know, it really is a guide. And I don't know. It's like it's so new for me, and I'm still processing it myself. And so I just want to be a better leader. I keep moving forward.
Wonderful. I really appreciate you tapping into that vision and that feeling of how many people it could serve and transform, and seeing that room full of people and everybody working on their roadmap and moving forward in their lives because of you
Hmm.
moving forward in your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So you really want to move towards this greater leadership, stronger leadership. And what would you say that you're moving away from?
The fear of the unknown, the those limiting beliefs of I can't do this. I don't know enough.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that clarification. And so you want to move towards stronger leadership and away from these limiting beliefs that get in the way of you doing that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's certainly something that we can work on in the next 6 weeks together. So
Awesome.
I'm really excited to support you with this and really appreciate your clarification and your clarity around what you're moving towards and what you're leaving behind.
Yeah.
So now that we're clear about what you want to create, the stronger leadership in the next 6 weeks, let's figure out how we might measure this. So how will you know that you created stronger leadership for yourself?
Hmm. Um, Obviously, it's going to be obviously a feeling, but also, I guess it's just taking those steps in moving forward with getting the word out, feeling comfortable by each forward motion, I guess. So I don't know how to measure that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing
Yeah.
like I'm going to take outer action
Yeah.
and I will see my leadership that way. And then there's also some sort of feeling I have inside of myself. So where inside of yourself might that feeling be showing up for you?
It actually feels in my heart. because I feel so passionate about this. So yeah, it's just very centered. Because I feel a lot of different emotions coming forward. Excitement, but emotional, but in a good way, if that makes sense. I'm an emotional being anyway, but it's like I get really excited about that. And so I think it's just if I continue with that positive feeling and positive forward motion, they go kind of hand in hand with me.
Yeah, I appreciate you pinpointing that there's that passion and excitement, and that for you, that really comes forward through your heart, but it also comes through just like emotionality in a sense of just feeling all the feels about this, right? And that
Right.
it's a good thing of you just being so passionate and wanting to share yourself and your work with people. So that's certainly a place that we can go to measure if that's there for you or not. I'm wondering if we might work on the short assessment that I have for us, because that's another way that we'll be able to measure
Okay.
how things have gone for you over the 6 weeks.
Okay.
So would you be open to us looking at that now to support?
I would love to.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
to
you.
support the measure of success here. So by assessing these 4 levels, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical, we're going to be able to see if there was an increase for you in these 4 levels by the end of this 6 weeks together.
Oh.
So yeah, so this is a really good time to pull out that handout that I sent you, so that you can look at those and we can work through these 4 levels together. And the idea here is that when we're going for any sort of goal or outcome, that it's not just an outside in job. Kind of what has already come forward for you, that you're taking action externally, but also that you're taking inner action, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that, it's not just external action, but there's also a certain environment that has to be going on within us in order to achieve the outcomes that we are trying to achieve. So what do you think about that kind of a concept?
It's perfect. It really describes me. And I believe that, healing starts from the inside out. So it's interesting that you bring that out, that my inner feeling and then my outer action. And so all of that really falls into line with this this worksheet.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because oftentimes people just focus on changing things externally, but then nothing has changed inside. And
Right.
so we're just bringing the same person that maybe was doing those other behaviors, and we're expecting there to be different results when we haven't really changed anything or shifted anything internally. And so really that's what this whole program is about, is that if we look at what's going on within us while we take external action, we can actually have the best results for ourselves. So I'm really excited to work on this with you, because you're already like innately understanding this concept, and it sounds like it really resonates with you. So that's really great. All right. So looking at the worksheet and seeing the 4 levels, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level, we're going to go through each one of these levels together and assess, like self-assess on a rating scale, where you feel like you're falling at this point, satisfaction-wise, in terms of that particular level and the goal that you're trying to achieve. So where would you like to start on this wheel?
Let's start with the mental.
Okay, great. So on the mental level, on a scale from 1 to 10, and 1 is going to be the lowest, 10 is going to be the highest, how satisfied are you feeling right now on the mental level as it pertains to stepping into strong leadership?
I would say more of an 8.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how come you rated yourself that number?
As I was looking at the worksheet, I was looking at the things underneath the mental level and some of the things that I do already in my daily practices. And um, I don't, there's still some things that I could do more of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel good. Lately, I've been very conscious about my mindfulness and positive self-talk and things like that. And I've seen some situations just in the last week that have helped me with that. So it's just getting better at it.
Awesome. Can I bring something forward that I heard you share earlier?
Yes.
So earlier you had mentioned that there's some limiting beliefs that
Mm-hmm.
actually get in the way of you maybe having your fullest potential as a leader. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering with those limiting beliefs, how that plays into you rating yourself at an 8.
Mm. Interesting. Because when I'm in my head, those limiting beliefs come out.
Yep.
And when I'm talking to you from my heart, I'm at a higher level.
That's a really good insight. Wow. That's
Yeah.
profound insight. Like right now, you're feeling at a really good place inside
Yeah.
of yourself. And so you're rating yourself very satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what are the conditions when you feel like you're rating yourself lower?
It's my environment, it's someone else coming into the room and their comments or something aren't in line with my energy. And so I just noticed that it just sucks that away. And then I have to literally go into another room, get back. It's like, okay, you were on a 10. Let's get back. And then I have to do my own personal rituals and then but it's not that high. So, that's where I still need work on that. But yeah, I feel really good. I'm on this path of a good mindfulness, positive self-talk kind of
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great to hear you actually acknowledge all of the really good things that are happening for you on the
Yeah.
mental level. And so now we know that there are still some limiting beliefs that you brought forward that you want to work on.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that you've tied that now to environment or particular people for you, because then we know exactly where the healing or the action steps need to be in service to supporting you. So thank you so much for that. Anything else that needs to be acknowledged here before we move on to the next level?
No, I think that's good. It was a great insight for myself.
Great. So where would you like to go on the wheel now?
I would say emotional.
Okay. So now as we shift from the mental to the emotional and you check in with yourself, how would you rate yourself on this particular level on the scale of 1 to 10?
No, it's definitely, I know this sounds really weird, but I emotionally, I feel really good. I would say like even an 8 or a 9, probably closer to an 8.
Okay.
I feel really good emotionally. And I mean, even when I do get emotional, I'm tapping into the why behind that, something that I haven't done before. And as I'm looking at the list, I've added essential oils, aromatherapy to my daily practice, um, affirmations. Obviously, could still work on my community because it goes back to the people and environment. So that part, yeah. Candles. Yeah. So I would say an 8.
Okay. And so, what would need to be different for you, if anything at all, as it pertains to the emotional level, so that you could fully step into your leadership abilities?
Definitely more affirmations of believing in myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got even the creativity. I'm creative, but sometimes I get stuck, and then when I get stuck, that wall comes up, and I allow it to stay. But then I'm starting to be a little bit more aware of it. So it goes back to the mental and like, okay, so now emotionally, why, don't let this stop you. Just take a step back. I'll get up, walk out of the room, and come back. Like, okay, I know you get this. You're just frustrated because I'm not as tech savvy as some people.
Right.
So, yeah.
We can all relate to that one.
Right?
Totally. Awesome. Yeah, you really know yourself so well. I just have to acknowledge that you really know your process very well, and you're really very well able to articulate it. So thank you for sharing it with me.
Yeah.
So any insight that needs to be acknowledged here for what's come forward for you around the emotional level?
I think for me, it's just continuing to keep moving forward on understanding that process that I'm going through. Just, become aware of it, embrace it, and then move forward.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard you use the words move forward quite a bit. What's so significant about moving forward for you?
Because I never want to go backwards. um, I think because I've had to tell myself that so many times in my life, because I've had to start over so many times in my life. That's why I'm so passionate about, starting over through midlife changes and after divorce, because, I moved to different states. And so I had to say, okay, you've got this. You can keep moving forward. Yeah, you have to start over, but that's okay. You just don't go back. So it's just something in my head that I've always told myself for years.
Can I bring something up that's coming
Yeah.
up for me as just like a challenging perspective question?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like if we're maybe trying to move forward from our past and we're focused on moving forward, might we ever miss out on something in the present moment? So when I say that to you, what comes up for you?
It makes me chuckle because lately I have been listening to a couple different audios about being more present. And I talk about that with my clients, being more present and how important that is. And so it's funny because as I hear you say it, it's like, yeah, no, then you're not, you're not living in the present moment. You just keep moving forward.
Right. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Like that's what was coming in when you were saying it. Like, of course, I don't think there's anything wrong with like, learning from our past, moving forward. It just that came into my consciousness, that there's also value in what's present, and that sometimes, not sometimes, we do have to acknowledge what's present in order to then move forward.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just thought it was an interesting concept, and I wanted to bring it forward and hear if it brought in any insights.
It really did. And I just shared this yesterday with my husband saying it, and I gave him this analogy of like right now we're driving down the car. We don't know what's ahead of us in a mile. We don't know, we know where we just came from, but right now we're in this present moment at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was explaining what that meant. And he's like, I get it. It's like, and it's funny that came forward.
It's coming forward again. Yeah.
Mhm.
A common theme.
Right.
Wonderful.
I'm changing it, living in the present.
Right.
My present moment.
So all good here, or anything else that needs to be acknowledged?
No, I'm all good there. Thanks.
All right. So where would you like to go next on the wheel?
Physical.
All right. So as you start to tap into the physical, seeing where you fall on the scale of 1 to 10 on the physical level as it pertains to you being the strong leader.
This is where physical for me right now is more a 5.
Okay.
There's just been a lot going on health wise, and so as I read all of these things, it's like, yep, I could work on that one, work on that one. So, but I would just say I'm right in the middle. I'm aware of it. I'm trying to make some changes. But yeah, I definitely have that area that I could work on.
Okay. So this one sounds like the area of most opportunity thus far. Because you've rated real high in the mental and emotional level, and I just want to acknowledge that. And so for the physical level, being at a 5, for taking into consideration that we'll be together for 6 weeks, what seems like a reasonable amount to perhaps go up on that scale?
If I could get closer to an 8, I would be happy.
Okay. And what do you think would need to happen in order to get from that 5 to that 8?
More intention on increasing my physical well-being.
What does intention mean to you?
I need to get up and exercise more. I need to go for walks. I need to clear my head, and just, do more stretching, body work, and just kind of like be intentional about, okay, where am I today? What did I do today? And not set myself up for failure to set my goal too high. Like my daughter had me do this elimination diet, and I couldn't do all of it. So I just said, okay, I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I'm going to take like 3 items on here. And that was more measurable for me. And so as I look at this list too, it's just like I see things that would be very helpful for me to just add. So I just need to be intentional, but every day.
Right. And you can't do everything.
Right.
So especially when you think about us being together for 6 weeks, it's almost like, what might I be able to add that I could do consistently for the next 6 weeks versus I need to do these 5 things,
Right.
And so what I heard you say is making it more doable is a better strategy for you than trying to overdo it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So anything else that needs to be acknowledged on the physical level?
Nope. That's good.
Okay. And then our last level is the spiritual level. And how do you rate yourself on the spiritual level as it pertains to being a strong leader?
This, I would say, is really closer to a 9. I don't want to give myself a 10 by no means, because there's always room for growth, but it's like I'd say an 8.5. Because this is my strongest point for me. I am very intentional about my spiritual practices, my spiritual beliefs. but I always think we can improve.
Well, how might we use the spiritual level, since this is your strongest area, in service to stronger leadership?
Keep telling myself that I know this, and it's knowing that my spirituality is so strong. I just need to keep tapping and pushing, like, within, to know that I am a good leader. I just need to continue to believe in myself. And I don't know why I let other things stop me from doing that. But I think just continuing to grow in my spirituality will help me just believe in myself.
Okay, beautiful. So we can use that spiritual level to deepen in, strengthen in your belief in yourself.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, that was the common theme here between all 4 levels, was this belief in yourself. On the mental level, you talked about limiting beliefs. On the emotional level, you talked about affirmations around believing in yourself. On the physical level, you said you just needed to take better care of yourself and your well-being. And now we have the spiritual level of using your strength here to fully own that you believe in yourself. So when you hear me reflect that back to you, what comes up for you?
It just makes me, like, I do believe in myself. So there must be the limiting belief that's keeping me, because I know I've got this. So it's just interesting hearing it out loud. It makes me feel like, what's wrong with you, Mary? You've got this. So then I start questioning myself. Why do you even question yourself?
And what's the answer to that? What has you questioning yourself?
I don't know. I don't know what questions, like, why I don't think I can do that.
Might it just be an old story that it's time to let go of?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think you hit a nerve.
It's that spiritual curriculum where there's just sometimes this residual, I call it, like old remnants of a story I've told myself for a very long time that doesn't resonate anymore with me on a soul level.
Right.
What if that were true?
That's true. That is true. It goes back to the mental part with the people and environment, and I purposely set boundaries so I could move forward and could do the things that I want to do. And so it's interesting that as I see this big picture, get excited about it, and then that person comes back into my head. You can't do this.
So whose voice would we rather have there? Right?
Definitely not his.
Right. So whose would we rather have?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, fine. I can do this. Yeah. And my faith will get me through this.
Right.
Yeah. higher
Beautiful.
powers in charge.
Right. That might even be the voice.
Yeah. The
Good
higher
thinking.
powers. Yeah.
Yes.
I got
That
this.
spiritual connection. Exactly. Your
God.
strength.
Yeah. It's for me, it's God telling me you've got this. So I've got this. And you're gonna help me in the next 6 weeks.
Right. We got this.
We've got this.
Right. Well done.
Awesome.
Thank you for that. Great
Yeah.
insights.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, anything else that needs to be acknowledged about the wheel of well-being?
No, that was really powerful.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. So
Yeah.
that's something we'll use during our 6th session to
Okay.
check back in to just see, what other insights have come forward for you.
Okay.
Over the course of the program. So we do it in the 1st session and we do it in the 6th, and it's just another way to measure what progress has been made, and you can already see that there's a lot of incredible insights that come forward by just using the tool. So it's a great tool to use.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about how we want to design the next weeks. There's a couple different ways that we could do this.
Okay.
So one way we can do it is that you just come each week and you let me know which level you want to coach on that week. Generally, we would want to spend 1 week on each of the levels so that you are actually taking action in each level. That's going to support you in stepping into this stronger leadership that you truly want.
Okay.
So that would be one way. Or we can right now decide together what that path would look like. And that way you and I both know what it is. And, sometimes people like to know, and sometimes people like to just be present and go with what is top of mind at that time. So which way works best for you?
I don't know. Initially, I would always say option number 2 because I like to be prepared.
Yeah.
But because I'm working on being more present, I would like to choose one and see what comes forward each week.
Nice. So it sounds like you're stretching yourself by doing it that way.
I am.
Good. I want to acknowledge you for that.
And it's funny you say the word stretch because in my daily reading this morning, that was the word that came forward, stretch yourself.
Yep. There you have it. You're following through and taking action on what you're reading and implementing. It's well done.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing all that. We want to honor your particular approach to things. And I hear normally you would do it by going for option number 2, but you are wanting to honor this new way of being where you're more present. And so I think that's great that you're using this container to do that. So that's fantastic that you're already stretching yourself.
Thank you.
And let's see what gets created by doing that, which is always fun to
Yes.
experience and witness. Is there anything else we need to discuss in order for you and I to have a really good partnership as we move through the next 6 weeks together?
No, I think I feel very comfortable, obviously, with sharing and your insight. So no, I just want to see what comes forward. And there's that word again. I think I need a new word.
What were you going to say? Move forward?
Right, I did. So each week, I look forward to whatever happens.
Beautiful. And as far as setting you up for success, what might you need to put in place in order to set yourself up for success around this over the next 6 weeks?
I think I need to do something each week. As I look at this wheel, maybe whether it be one, again, I'll just see what comes forward. But I'll add this to my daily practice and read each one and see what comes forward to do something that day or that week. And for me, I think as long as I'm doing something that keeps me moving in this stronger leadership role, um, that'll change those feelings inside and give me the confidence that I need.
Good. That's a great idea, to take the wheel and really be intentional with the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level as it pertains to being a strong leader.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what this wheel is for, because we want you to think about what needs to be going on for me mentally to feel like a strong leader, what needs to be going on for me emotionally to feel like a strong leader, and so on. What needs to be going on for me spiritually to feel like a strong leader, and what needs to be happening for me physically in order to be a strong leader.
Yeah.
And then when we're taking action on that and we're being aligned with being a strong leader through the actions we're taking, well, then you can see it's inevitable that you will own it and step into it.
Yeah.
As I say that to you, what comes up for you?
I have this feeling of calm and peace. Just, I actually got goosebumps. I just feel really positive. It feels really, really good. Like this is a new chapter that we just opened, this new book. And yeah, I'm super excited.
Wonderful. And as we're talking about setting you up for success, what might you need to eliminate in order to fully own the strong leader within yourself?
I need to eliminate negativity. I need to eliminate, maybe set some boundaries, and anyone or thing that is going to keep me from moving me into the next phase.
When you hear yourself say that, what comes up for you?
Continuing to surround myself with spirit-minded people that lift me up and motivate me. And if there's someone that I feel that is giving me that negative energy, or if I'm in a situation where I'm hearing negativity, that I just eliminate that role, that position, just, walk away or walk out of the room, So I have to be intentional about that.
Yeah. Can I share a message that's coming in?
Yes, please.
The message that's coming in, and I don't know if this is going to resonate with you or not, but the message is just, you don't have to participate in it anymore. You don't have to participate in it anymore. What do you take from that?
That speaks volumes, because that's, it's been a topic of a conversation with a dear friend, and that is what was almost said verbatim. It's like, you don't need to do that anymore. So you got that same message to me. So it's like, okay, God's going, really? How many more times do you want to hear it? Right?
And what needs to be true for you to receive it, Mary?
Yeah. I just need to believe it. And like, hello. Yeah. I've got this. I've got this. We've got this together. And I thank you for that.
Yeah. So who or what besides me can support you over the next 6 weeks in stepping into this stronger leadership?
I have a dear friend, who I trust, that had asked about, keeping each other motivated. So I'm going to take her up on that. And also I will share this with my husband, and Um, and I just need to have that time with myself, um, and knowing that we're doing this, that puts the accountability on me in a different way. So it's not just me going, okay, yeah, Mary, you go do it, or yeah, I don't want to do that today. It's going to be just knowing that we're going along this journey together. So
What's important about that to you? That someone's going along the journey with you?
That I'm not alone. It's my personality. It's not that I need the like, come on, Mary, you got this, but it's just that positive, encouraging words, affirmations that help me keep moving forward.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So anything else that's coming up for you around setting yourself up for success?
No, this has been amazing.
You've come up with some really great things here. So I just want to acknowledge you for that. Yeah, I appreciate you partnering up with me on this call, and that we're partnering up together to do this holistic well-being routine. I think you're already starting to experience the power of looking at these 4 levels as it pertains to whatever you're trying to create. And in this circumstance, the powerful, strong leadership, owning that inside of yourself and then demonstrating that to other people is what I'm really hearing loud and clear.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know that, we're going to be working together on this. Being really open with our communication is important to me, as you know.
Yeah.
And so letting me know if there's anything that you don't like or do like. I just want you to know I'm really open to hearing all of that, because I want us to have the best experience we can together. And so we can always talk everything through. So feel free to bring forward whatever needs to be brought forward so that this can be the best experience for you. Is there anything else you would need me to know in order to best support you over the next 6 weeks?
No, I think you pretty much know my emotional being self, and you have this gift inside of you that just taps into things that I think are gone, and they just come forward again for some more healing. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for seeing it that way and experiencing it that way. I truly believe, that's what's going on too. So thank you for that. And I did see that you scheduled your next sessions for the entire program. And I just wanted to thank you for that, for being so on top of it and getting that all squared away. I'm really looking forward to our time together. So thank you for scheduling already. That was really great. And as we close out our session today, what's something you could take action on that came forward from the call today that would be a helpful next step for you?
I have some, I guess I'm working on an email, so I'm making sure that goes out, and that's like, that will be a huge next step for me. And I'm going to be intentional about that. So that came forward like, okay, you can't sit on this. You need to send it.
And what does sending that email have to do with you being a strong leader?
It's part of my program. So it's a step in that direction.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned that you're also going to bring the 4 levels to your daily practice and be intentional about how that connects with being a stronger leader as well. So that's another really great action step.
Yes, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that, because as I look at them, it's like things just pop in my mind as to how I can dig deeper into each of those areas. So I'm looking forward to that this week too.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to share about our coaching conversation today?
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to work with you. And I'm amazed at what comes forward through this process. I love it. And it's very healing. It really is. So I'm looking forward to becoming stronger.
Yes. I really appreciate what you're sharing. And you know how much I love coaching, because I think it offers a different level of presence than I think most people are used to.
Mm-hmm.
It really just brings a lot of light and love and compassion to what we are bringing forward. And we're all usually so busy with the responsibilities of the day that it's hard to bring this kind of level of presence and compassion and loving.
Yeah.
So, it's really remarkable. And I appreciate you for even being available to it, because not everybody always is, and I respect that. But you are open to receiving what you need to receive, and you always do receive what you need to receive. So it's a joy for me to coach you and support you and partner up with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The feeling is mutual.
Thanks. Is this a good place for us to stop today?
It is. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's only one thing that you take away from today's episode, my hope is that it is a better understanding of what an actual initial session sounds like. And furthermore, that you have an understanding of what an initial session sounds like when you have a specific program that you are delivering to your coaching clients. If you enjoy hearing these demos, please leave a positive review so that I know that this is something of interest to you, that's useful and helpful. And please know that you can always message me at info@holisticcoachtraininginstitute.com with any topics that may be of service to you. It is my intention to provide you great quality content so that you can apply what you're learning here and be an impactful and confident coach. Thank you so much for being here.